Hitting the greens from the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. Our golf pro today is Alan Brennan, and our guest is Dave Sattler, and you see him all the time in our community. So we thought, well, we're going to bring Dave out here, and I think the last time he beat me in the Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge, so I thought I need a little revenge today. Is that right? Help me out, come on, man.
You know, I'm going to sit on the fence. I can't actually remember who won the last time, but...
I like the way he's thinking. There'll be no reruns of that contest, so you know. I guess we're not sure who won the last contest.
I have no idea.
All right, well, today we are going to do some chipping. And what are we going to do here, Alan?
Well, chipping often sort of poses a problem for many people. You know, it should be something really simple because you're so close to the hole, you've done all the hard work. But quite often, that's the area that people struggle with. So getting it from 10 yards off the green onto the green and close to the flag. So that's really what we're going to focus on today.
All right, so we've got a whole lineup of balls here. What are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to ask you to set up to each little area here.
Okay.
Dave, you're going to hit at the same time as Tim. You're going to hit the first 5 balls, and we're going to try and hit them. I don't know if you can see it there, but we have a little box that I'd ask you to try and hit the balls into. The box is 10 yards away, and it's about 3 yards squared. So it's a huge target from this distance. I'm sure you'll hit all 5 balls into the box.
Huge target for this.
Yeah.
It might seem like it, but it's not.
Yeah,
So-
it's a long ways away.
Yeah, so just whenever you're ready, hit your first 5 balls and let's see how many you get in the box. Look at that. I'd love to give you that one, Tim, but I think you're a little shocked.
That's been my whole life.
I'm just hitting it too hard.
Too hard, Dave.
I'm
Tim
too
again,
short, you're too
short.
hard.
Yep. There you go.
There's one
That's
in the
the one.
box. Leave a little grass for everybody else, will you?
Oh. Well, you're a lot better practice player than I am.
Well, that's all I got, you know? Let's see, we got the last one. And a little off.
So
we got about maybe 2 in the box, if you can see that.
yep. Now, if you look at it, you've got 2 in the box, which I would say is not too bad, but it certainly has a bit of room for improvement.
Sure.
But the big thing is the dispersion of your golf balls. Why was there another 8 balls not in the box? Mm-hmm. And if you look at it, there was actually only 1 that was wide of the box. The remaining balls, the reason they didn't go in was because they were either short or long. Mm-hmm. So what I would say is, for you to be more consistent from 10 yards, it's not a problem with direction, it's a problem with distance control. Mm-hmm. And there's a number of factors that contribute to how you control the distance the ball travels. And that's really what we're going to speak about. Okay. The first one is actually what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, about hitting the centre of the golf club. That's part of the reason that maybe we can't control the distance quite as much. I would say that these ones that were short of the box, you probably hit the ground before you hit the ball. That's why they came up short. And maybe the ones that were long, well, maybe that was another influence that made the ball go a little bit longer.
He's been working out.
Yeah, I can see that, Dave. Yeah,
I can see that.
So I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to ask you to hit the next 5 balls, and we see if the results can change. So right now, just a quick recap. You have 2 in the box, you have 4 short of the box, 3 long, and then 1 just a little bit wide. So the first thing I'm going to get you to do is a little drill that I call the weight on the front foot. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the ball in the middle of your stance. Then you're going to try and get your centre of gravity here over your left foot or your right foot for you, Tim. Mm-hmm. That'll force you to almost have no weight whatsoever on this back foot. And the club is going to point to your left hip. From there, I'm just going to ask you to make a few swings, and you should try and feel that the club is bottoming out after the ball. Again, like we spoke about when we played the line game. Mm-hmm. Okay, does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, set up here, weight on the front foot, and then try and make a few swings trying to hit the ground in front of the ball. A lot of people say to me, Alan, this is something that I've heard before. This is not anything new. I've heard that you've got to put your weight in your front foot. But how they do it is they try and stand like this here. But you'll see that the centre of gravity is actually back behind the ball. We need your centre of gravity to be out over your front foot here.
Okay.
Any questions?
Got it.
When
All
we
right.
come back, we're going to use the chip, and then we're going to try to put some balls into the box here. We're at the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. We've got Dave Sattler, our guest from the city of Coldwater, and the BPU, and just all over the place, right?
That's right.
Pretty much. And Alan Brennan is our golf pro today. We'll have more coming up from the Bella Vista Golf Course after this. Welcome back to Hitting the Greens from the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. We've got Alan Brennan again as our golf pro, and we've got Dave Sattler, our guest, and we're going to continue with our chipping. And just give us a quick recap after the commercial here. We want to have our weight on our front foot, is that right?
Yes, you're going to hit your next 5 balls. We're going to check your results, but the next 5 balls, you're going to be doing the weight on the front foot drill. And what that should help us ensure is that the club bottoms out after the ball, therefore hits the club out the middle of the club face a little bit more.
All right.
So I just want you to hit your next 5, and all I'm going to say to you is, I would love for you to get more balls in the box, but I'm going to guess that the majority of them may be a little long of the box this time, and I'll explain a little bit more later. But
Okay. Still, put
Fire
the
away.
ball in the center of our...
ball in the centre, yep, centre of gravity out in front. Look at that.
This might be the trick, Dave.
Wow. I may retire.
Especially with 2 hacks like this.
Jeez.
How about this? We might have to change our game, Hooter. Get going! Oh, a little
look
short.
at that.
You know what? That's because I was not leaning forward. I
Yeah.
felt it. I was getting in a hurry.
So I don't know if you can see that, but literally out of the 10 balls, we have 9 in the box. And not only that, if you cast your mind back to a little bit earlier, the dispersion of the balls from before, it was long. This time it's much narrower. I mean, actually it's only 2.5 yards long, so you're starting to control the distance a little bit better. And that's mainly because you're consistently hitting it out the middle of the club face. So that would be one of the first things I would have people try if they're struggling with their chipping, is to try and get the ball in the middle of their stance and get their centre of gravity right on the front foot, so that you literally have nothing on this back foot.
Well, and you talked about too that when I was leaning, I had the club right at my pocket.
Yes.
Is that kind of...
So, yep, the club has to be in your pocket, because if you think about it, the ball is in the middle of your stance and your centre is out in front of the ball. Often one of the common mistakes people make is, because that feels fairly alien and uncomfortable, they try to get back into their comfort zone. They'll still do the weight on the front foot, but they'll end up sneaking the ball forward in their stance, so in actual fact, the centre of gravity isn't out in front of the ball anymore.
Right, because you don't want that ball lined up with your foot. You want it right in the
You
middle.
want it right in the middle, yep. So, guys, to be honest, I mean, this is perfect results.
The end of
All
our
this
show
near-
today.
Yeah,
We
pretty
got more
much.
tips. I'll tell you right now. There's more tips. All right, and so another little tip or technique would be what?
Well, that's the first thing. What we did there was, that's what affects how far the ball goes, hitting it out the middle of the club. But there's something else that also affects how far the ball goes. Any guesses?
The height.
Well,
The height of the ball, or the...
how about your backswing?
Yeah, absolutely.
How far I'm going to bring it back?
Absolutely. The length of your swing would affect how far the ball goes. So, I'll ask you guys, how far do you think, if I was set up with the weight on the front foot, and I wanted the ball to stop within 10 yards, as we do, how far back do you think you have to go?
I'd say about 1.5 to 2 feet, maybe right behind my back foot.
Yeah, I would say that's probably about right. I mean, obviously it's quite clear that would be too far.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously that probably would not be far enough.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to still do the weight in the front foot with the next 5 balls here, but I'm going to come in behind you and I'm just going to hold my club. I'll actually hold it out with that distance that you said, so it should be fairly safe, and your guys' clubs on the backswing should never come in contact with my club.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just see if that's the case. I'll clear these balls up quickly, and then you guys can have a little practice and just see if your length of swing is the appropriate
All right,
distance.
we're going to take a quick break. We're at the Bella Vista Golf Course. You're watching Hitting the Greens. Alan Brennan's our golf pro, and I will tell you, if you'd like to come out and get some lessons, give the golf shop a call, and you can get them set up with lessons, right?
I would love to. Yeah.
There you go. And Dave Sattler, he's out here because
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. All right, you're watching Hitting the Greens from the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. Stay with us. Coming up, we've got another little tip for you. Welcome back to Hitting the Greens from the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. Dave Sattler's our guest. Alan Brennan is our golf pro. And if you've watched the earlier segments, we're working on our chipping right now. And you gave us the technique of leaning forward, putting our weight here, lining our club up with our pocket, and then bringing the club through. Now, before we took a little break, we talked about how far we're going to take our club back. So just kind of explain that real quick again.
Okay, so again, we're only 10 yards from our intended target, and like you stated, Tim, for that distance of shot, you probably only have to take that club back maybe a couple of foot. So I'm going to get you to hit the next 5 balls. I'm going to stand in behind you. I'm going to have my club out with that distance. You're going to hit the ball, and obviously my club will be perfectly safe because you guys are not going to take it back any further than that.
All right, well, let's start with Dave. How about that? If somebody's going to damage your club, it might as well be him first.
All right, Dave. So I'm just going to stand, actually I'll stand on this side. I'm going to put this way back so you should not touch it. And then all you're going to do is just wait on the front foot and chip the balls in the box again. Now, I don't know if you heard that, folks, but that sounded like metal against metal on the
That was
backswing
metal
there.
against metal.
Yeah.
He got all antsy, man. You got to
Right.
know what you do. Come on. Follow
so-
the instructor.
And get that weight forward.
Get
there,
the
Dave.
weight forward. Don't fall over with all that weight.
Right, that was better. Okay, and again. I just got that one there.
It's just weird.
Well, you know
It
what he's
feels
doing?
weird because that feels restricted to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But when Tim demonstrated, when he said, take it back that far, you agreed. You said, yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So let's just carry on with it. Okay. And then one more.
You got to put 1 in the box. Come on. You just had 5 in the box. There you go.
There, much better.
There you
much
go.
better. So your tendency, I would say, Dave, is that you have a slight tendency to take that club back a little bit further than you're aware of, because the very first time you thought you were well within the range, but you were a little bit longer. Okay, so your length of swing might be a little bit long. Okay, all right, Tim, let's see. Show us how it's done. Look at that.
Oh. You know what it is? I will tell you this. When you're holding that thing, when you start to go back, you're thinking, holy cow.
Yeah.
There's the club.
Yeah, there's not too many guys that stand there with a club.
No, I know. There you go.
But that was a little short.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, it's not.
There you go.
Now I'm hitting short.
Okay.
Come on, get
And
one
there's
in
a
the
reason
box,
for
Phil.
it.
I got 1 in the box.
There you go.
There we go. Now I got my swing going.
All right.
But what is the thing that does throw you is your peripheral. You'll see this line and you're thinking, well, wait, I can't.
Yeah.
And then it throws off your whole kind of rhythm a little bit.
Well, you're right. I mean, obviously that's unlikely to happen on
Right,
the course.
exactly.
But
It's a tree.
right, well, maybe, yeah. But what we actually really have to look at is your overall club head awareness. So what I'm getting at is you have to be aware of how far that club head goes back,
right.
because you should know where your club head is all the way through your swing, but often people are really unaware of the club head on the way back. So ultimately, if you don't know where it is here, it's unlikely you'll know where it is at the point of impact, which we all know that is the ultimate point where you have to be aware. So we felt that maybe, or certainly you did, Dave, that maybe that club, you wanted to take it back a little bit further, okay? So there is another factor to control and distance. We've spoke about 2 of them. We spoke about hitting it out the centre of the club. We've spoke about how far the club goes back that influences the distance, but there is one other factor as well that maybe we could speak about in a moment or two.
Okay, all right, I tell you what, why don't we take a quick break, we'll speak about that, and then we'll have our contest. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
All right. Alan Brennan's our golf pro. We are at the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. Dave Sattler's our guest. We'll have more coming up on Hitting the Greens, chipping, and we've got our contest coming up after this. Welcome back to Hitting the Greens from the Bella Vista Golf Course. Beautiful day out here. Everything is just marvelous. The course just looks great out here. Alan, they're doing a great job, aren't they?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, the course is looking wonderful.
Alan Brennan is our golf pro, and he's got a few more tips for Dave and I. And right now, we've been talking about chipping. We've talked about, where to hit the ball on the club face. We've talked about, putting the weight. We've talked about how far to bring it back. And you got one other little factor here.
Yes. The other factor that controls distance is the speed that you swing the club. Everyone talks about club head speed. It's written on our shafts. If you get your clubs fitted for you, they'll tell you that you should swing it at, X miles per hour. But I don't like to think of it as miles per hour because that's hard to know. I could say to you, Tim,
let me translate that. That would be miles per hour. Okay,
yes, no problem, no problem.
I'm just helping him out, that's all.
Well, I could say to you that to hit the ball 10 yards, you only need to take the club back, 2 feet. But how fast is your club travelling over 10 yards?
Right.
You don't know in miles per hour, you don't know how fast it's travelling. So I'm going to say that we're going to talk about the pace of your swing rather than the speed of your swing. The pace should remain the same on every shot you hit. Whether it's a 7-iron, whether it's a driver, whether it's a sandwich, the pace of your swing should remain the same. And what I mean by that is the pace of your swing is the length of time it takes the club to leave the ball and then return back to strike the ball. That's the pace of your swing. So in other words, I'm going to demonstrate how long it takes me to swing this golf club, because I'm going to say something as soon as the club moves back from the ball, and then I'll say something else as soon as the club strikes the ball. Okay. And you can hear the pace of the swing. It's hard to see the pace of someone's swing, okay? So, I'm going to say the word tick, T-I-C-K, when I move the club back from the ball, and then I'm going to say the word tock, T-O-C-K, when I strike the ball. So, this is what it would sound like. Tick, tock. That's the pace of your swing. I'll do it once more. Tick, tock. And no matter what you're hitting, that remains the same. So even if you're doing a little short swing, it should still sound tick, tock. If you're doing a 300-yard drive, tick, tock. Because if you swing the club further back, then it has a longer time to travel, therefore or a longer distance to travel, therefore it has to travel faster. So your club head speed changes all the time, but your pace of your swing stays the same. So what I'm going to ask you to do with these next 5 balls, I would like to hear you tick-tock, and you have to do it out loud so that I can hear it and everyone else can hear it as well. And let's see how good the pace of your swing is. So let me hear you tick-tock, guys.
Okay.
No, as you strike the ball, so as the club comes back, you tick.
You're going to say it, we're going to say it.
You guys are going to say it.
That's a lot to think about.
Whoa!
Tick-tock.
Oh.
It's a lot.
So that one went a long way, Dave. Yeah. So your pace of your swing was good. So what must have been wrong?
Must have been the back swing.
It must have been the back swing, yeah, too far.
Tick-tock.
There you go. That was precise.
Tick-tock.
Tick-tock. Oh. Too many things to think about.
Tick-tock.
Sure.
Tick.
Oh, that's in the hole.
There you go. That's better.
That was in the hole. Tick-tock.
Tick.
Tim, you've got this nailed.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm ready for the contest now. Let's just move right into it.
Well, I think you are both ready.
All right, so contest-wise, we got our setup. Well, I tell you what, we'll take a quick break, a real short break, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to have our contest, and maybe we'll go to one of the different little areas. How's that sound?
We're not going to use this area?
Yeah, we will. Now that I got it dialed in.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Dave Sattler, Alan Brennan, we're at the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart. We got more coming up on Hitting the Greens. Back here at the Bella Vista Golf Course on Hitting the Greens with Alan Brennan, our golf pro, Dave Sattler, our guest. We're ready for the Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge, and we're going to kind of do what we've been doing, putting the balls in the little box out here.
Yes. I'd like you to both tee up at the same time. You've got 10 yards to go into a 3-yard box, and we're just going to see who can get the most in the box.
Normally we do 3, we're going to do 5 today.
Yeah.
Just so we get some of them in.
Good luck.
All right. We can start whenever, right?
Yes.
Now, can I talk while he's hitting? Tick tock.
There you go.
Oh, there's one. Oh, I think that's short, Hooter.
No.
It's short. That's long.
That's long. Yep, you're both one for 2.
Tim!
Oh, nicely timed, Dave.
Nicely timed,
Your
Dave.
pace was
Nicely
perfect there.
timed. We're just going to throw this one out of the thing. Why do you say that?
Oh, get rolling!
Oh, come on, Alice. Should we have Janice come out here and hit? Huh?
They call me Cinderfella.
Dave! Oh,
Yep.
Tim!
that's hard. No, it's not. Hit the grass and hold. It held. It held. Hey, what do we got here now? We
I'll tell
got
you.
3 in. 2 of them are mine. One of them's Dave's. And Dave has 2 in.
You've
For
got to
all
make
the
this one,
money,
Tim.
folks.
For all the money.
Oh, I think. Hey, where we get another ball? There you go. That's more like it.
Oh, too much weight on my back foot.
There you go.
How
Yeah.
about just too much weight on your front side?
It's coming from somebody that would know.
That's exactly. Black is slimming, so you know.
There's just not enough of it.
No, yeah. Hey, well, I tell you what great tips here today on chipping, because a lot of times, as you say, you could play the course very well. You get down to the short game, and that's where you have a problem.
Yeah, I've seen guys, be up close to the green in 2, and then take another 4 to get it in the hole. So yeah, it's pretty crucial.
Yeah,
All right.
You can practice this in your backyard.
You surely can. You surely can. All right, Dave Sattler's been our guest from the city of Coldwater. Alan Brennan's the golf pro out here. Again, I encourage you to give Alan a call and get some lessons out here at the Bella Vista Golf Course. I'm Tim Hart, and don't forget about Oscar Brown's Tavern. Yeah, baby. They got some great food out here, and Monday, I think, is wings night. Sunday is taco day, so you can get some great food out here at Oscar Brown's Tavern. For Hitting the Greens, I'm Tim Hart.